Patrick lies peacefully on the sandy beach, basking in the warmth of the sun.
Sun-baked starfish. Nature's burrito.
Patrick, what in the salty sea grits are you doing lying here like a roasted marshmallow?
Charging my brain. Solar-powered now.
You sure it's not sleep mode, genius?
Wait. Sandy, what if I invent sunscreen you can eat?
What in the underwater barbecue are you talking about?
Like you eat it, and boom, your insides protect your outsides.
Patrick, that's not how science or digestion works.
That's why I need a lab partner. Someone brave, someone smart, someone with a squirrel brain.
A squirrel brain? Boy, you better start running for I use my brain to karate chop some sense into yours.
Patrick's stomach suddenly gurgles.
I already tested it. I ate an entire bottle of sunscreen pudding. Sandy, I think my intestines are SPF 50 now.
Patrick being launched like a rocket off-screen by a violent gurgle noise.
Y'all ever met someone so dumb, they turned snack time into a science emergency?
Sandy bursts onto the beach, her eyes wide with excitement, waving a crumpled map.
Patrick, you ain't gonna believe what I found. This map leads to the legendary glittering grotto. Patrick, I'm talking real treasure. Not the time you glued bottle caps to a jellyfish and called it bling plankton.
A tiny trumpet noise punctuates the air.
Does it involve snacks?
Better. This map leads to the legendary glittering grotto, a hidden cave said to be filled with ancient gold, glowing gems, and possibly a cursed disco ball.
A haunted dance party. Count me in, but count me scared.
Look here first, we pass Jellybone Ridge, then cross Spooky Coral Canyon, and finally slide down a volcano shaped like Squidward's nose.
Wait, why is there a taco drawn here?
Because I got hungry halfway through decoding it.
Sandy, this might be the most important moment of our lives.
You ready for the danger? You ready for walking more than 12 feet without snacks?
We need a snack strategy.
Will they survive Jellybone Ridge? Will Patrick eat the map? Patrick and Sandy cautiously enter the Jellybone Ridge as an eerie rustling sound fills the air.
Sandy, do spooky noises burn calories? Because I think I just lost 10 pounds of courage.
Suddenly, a strange shuffling echoes from ahead.
Wait, what is that noise?
Patrick, wait. At the base of a towering cliff.
At the base of that terrifying cliff.
At the base of a towering cliff, Sandy begins her ascent, the sounds of climbing filling the air.
Time to cowboy up.
Heroic action sting as Sandy starts climbing her astronaut training in full force. Grunts, clinks, suction cup sounds.
Focus, Sandy. One wrong step and it's jellyfish jello night.
Sandy, I see. A monster.
Gah, got snacks, got ma.
I think the monster's hangry.
I smell peanut butter bars.
Patrick clutches his snack bar like it's a sacred relic.
Sandy, it knows.
Monster lunges. Patrick screams and hurls the snack bar like a javelin into the distance. The monster chases it like a puppy chasing a ball.
Nice work, Starboy. You bought us time.
I also bought hunger. Again.
Will they make it to the glittering grotto before Patrick starves or adopts the monster? Sandy reaches the top of the towering cliff, panting, gripping a jagged ledge.
Phew, that climb was tougher than a cactus in a boxing match.
The monster responds with a menacing growl.
All right, let's find this glittering grotto and hope I don't get glittered to...
Suddenly, a surreal garden of giant bubbles show up in the downside of the cliff. This is amazing. As they drift through a surreal garden of giant bubbles, a bubble bursts with a soft boing. She steps into the cave. Camera follows her footsteps echoing. Suddenly, she emerges into a large, glowing chamber.
This is it! The glittering grotto! Sandy arrives at the grotto, only to find it empty.
The treasure, sure.
Where's the treasure?
Snack, deliveria.
I've got a hangry glitter monster crawling up my tail. Swell.
Where is my snacks?
All right, Sparkle Chomper. You want snacks? Time to taste Texas magic. Ya jelly-brained goblin.
Sandy tosses the blue crystal. It turns into a giant energy lasso that ropes the monsters. Sandy slammed the red crystal. It turns into a bubblegum that hit the monsters.
Y'all fight like a hungry burrito.
You've clearly never seen me on leg day. Now this one's called the Yeehaw Bomb.
The monster explode into a giant holographic show-up made of light and fire. The monster explode into a giant holographic Texas made of light and fire. Sandy and Patrick sit on the beach, their shoulders slumped in defeat, the waves whispering a melancholic tune.
Well, we lost the treasure, got chased by a monster, and I exploded a holographic cow.
And I think I swallowed a magical crystal. Or a jelly bean. Either way, I'm glowing.
Maybe the real treasure was the friends we made along the way.
Patrick and Sandy share a hearty laugh, the sound echoing across the sandy beach.
You sound like one of those cheesy TV shows with life lessons and dancing potatoes.
I was one of those shows back in Texas. Only instead of potatoes, we had line-dancing tumbleweeds.
But maybe you're right. I mean, I did almost get eaten, and I still feel happy.
That's because we did it together, through snack attacks, sparkly monsters, and all.
A profound realization dawns on their faces. Their friendship is the true treasure. Patrick and Sandy embrace. Their connection strengthened.
Sandy, you're like a peanut butter sandwich. Strong, kinda nutty, and somehow always stuck to my memories.
And you, Patrick, you're the jelly. Unexpected, messy, but sweet where it counts.
Wanna split the last treasure?
You bet, partner.
They clink sandwiches like toasting champagne.
Moral message: sometimes the biggest adventures lead to the simplest truths. Like peanut butter and friendship, true treasure is friendship. Courage comes in many forms. Even failure can be a beautiful ending.
Somewhere, a starfish cries when you scroll without subscribing. Don't make Patrick sad. Click subscribe and let the nonsense continue.